We as humans, we have this bad tendency to sometimes avoid problems and try to delay them, sweep them under the rug, so to say. And that is causing very bad problems in our lives and in our relationships, in us and all around us. Most of the time, the relationships that we have, they can not break apart when we have some kind of normal fights and arguments. But if those fights and arguments never have been handled in that time that they appeared, what will happen is that they will stay under everything, under your exterior. They don't disappear, and what ends up happening is that more time goes by and these problems become more and more. We end up in that point where everything will explode, so to say, all at once, and that is very dangerous situation. Often we lose our control in that moment and we are not anywhere close of that who we truly are, and outcomes can be in that moment very bad. Anything can happen, and the problem is that often in those moments we will cause damage that can't be healed or forgotten. We as humans, we have memory, and if those hardest times and situations and most nastiest ones, we don't often never forget them. That just labels in a way that human being that you have interacted and get that memory with. I'm speaking on my own experience completely. In my younger years, I had a so-called friend that I believed to be my friend, that always presented me in a way things and how he behaved, and that everything was okay and there is no problems at all and everything went fine long time, but then suddenly one day, out of the blue, it just exploded. So much anger, shouting and blaming, and even physical interaction was very close. And then in a way it also happened. But I will never forget that day, and if I would give any kind of advice to anyone, that it is truly so much better to handle problems when they come as they come, instead of trying to make you believe that it isn't so big thing after all to you and the people around you, because those things will stack eventually and constantly, and that day will happen when you can't anymore hold on to those things just in you, but those things most definitely come all at once after all, and that is not a beautiful thing for any one of us. that is benefiting anybody. Like I said earlier, we can handle problems many times when they just comes as they come, little by little. But I think we should truly avoid as humans, and when we are raising our children, possible children, is to just in a way let things happen naturally, but also try to take care that those problems will not stack and avoid happening those big outward explosions that I have mentioned. Try to balance it out in a way, these things. And of course these things that I'm mentioning today is also related to that thing that we don't often, especially men, we don't show our emotions enough, and because of how society have created and labeled everything. I have mentioned sometimes in other video that we have all right to express ourselves. We can't deny our emotions. We can control them, how we handle them, and that should be that we should all take care of, and not just randomly. Maybe sometimes, yes, express them in that way also, but some way controlled manner, but also naturally in a balanced way. If we let our culture to go to that direction, that openness, and that we all have right to be truly who we are, we can avoid these true fights and big explosions to happening so much more. We want so often to avoid just those conflicts and fights, but it is truly better way to try to be more honest in a healthy way, in a polite way, just to tell honestly how things are and how you feel in that moment. Try to always form things to that other person in a way that is going towards some kind of conclusion. Trying to always resolve problems. End of the all, only something real will last, something honest. And you have to keep that in mind. So if you are honest and real, that will serve you and all around you ultimately. And that is something that will last. More you just stack on those things in your mind without resolving them, handling them, more you will create your own version of that reality that happened, that is constantly going more and more further and further from the actual truth, and actually that will keep forcing your own way of seeing and feeling for the worst direction often. There are just so many reasons why it is so much better to always handle these problems when they come. You don't supposed to be scared of the outcome if you're just who you are, and things that are just meant for you will stay even if you do that. You will do service to yourself and all around you by actually being who you are. Then you are not leading astray nobody, and everybody can do decisions more quickly when they have that actual truth, true evidence and information to based on those decisions. I truly hope that I have made my point clear to you, and there is just only one good option in here, and I would truly hope that we can all take that direction more and more, and how much this world will truly change for the better. I once again so much thank you for being with me as always, and if you have any questions, I'm always really happy to answer them, and if you're in need of any kind of help or personal coaching, check out the description box below as always, and take care and thank you.